he's going to be the 12th baby born, and out of the 12, 8 of them have passed away due to undeveloped organs. From the earliest of ages, my parents basically sat me down from when I can remember and said, Nick, the world's not going to stop for you because you're born like this. And what that did was, in the earliest of ages, got my mindset of the rhythm of, okay, it's not can't, but it's how, you know? Man, like one choice, you have one choice. I can either look at all the negative I have in my life and focus on that, which won't propel me, it will dig me to a hole, or I can focus on all the good and all I'm capable of doing, and that will elevate me. Turned out the things that I thought were the most negative about myself, the most unattractive, disgusting, became my biggest empowerments and biggest influences.
Like, what are you willing to do to chase your dream? This guy's willing to cut his arm off. What's the sacrifice you're willing to make? And how does it compare to that? Welcome back to Max Out with Ed Milet. This is Nick Sanatista. Nick has a story to tell, as you can tell, it's probably different than anyone you've ever heard before. So let's get right into your story, man. So you were born with something called Hanhart syndrome,
yes.
Right? And take them through sort of what that is, and then sort of what it can really mean for the other people that were diagnosed with it. 1996, you were born.
Yes.
And so there were 12 people born with it at that time, right?
I was the 12th.
You were the 12th, and so talk about that.
Yeah, so I was the baby of the family. I was the last kid my mom was pregnant with, and you know, the pregnancy was going fine until my mom, they went in for an ultrasound. And basically they sat my parents down and pulled up, you know, the baby on the screen, and the doctors are like looking at each other and saying, there's something wrong. My parents are like, what do you mean there's something wrong? And it says, well, from the looks of it, it doesn't look like some of his limbs are being developed. It looks like he's missing his legs and his one arm. And, you know, after that, they finally diagnosed me with Hanhart syndrome.
In womb? Was that in the womb they diagnosed it or after? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they said I had a bunch, they said like my face was messed up, cleft lip. They said a bunch of things to my parents before the birth.
Well, that wasn't true, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so my parents looked at each other and said, we're going to see where life takes this. You know, we're going to just have this kid born and see what he's capable of doing.
Thank God, because some people might have reacted differently to that news. Thank
Absolutely.
God, right? Okay.
Yeah, so I was born, but before that, they said he's going to be the 12th baby born, and out of the 12, 8 of them have passed away due to undeveloped organs.
Oh, boy.
So what that means is, you know, the baby's born and it can't breathe on its own, or it can't eat on its own, and later passes away. So they gave me a 30% chance, and when I was born, you know, the first thing they did was do tests of my organs. And I remember my mom saying the first thing she remembers is I had a full head of hair and a big smile, and she's like, oh my God, this baby's gorgeous. And yeah, I can remember that. And they did tests of my organs, and it came back 100% healthy, that the only thing were affected were my limbs. All my organs were 100% healthy.
Thank God.
And so, you know, that's one of the reasons why living in a state of gratitude, you know, is so important. And I shouldn't be here. So like every day, you know, every day we live, every day we're alive is an amazing day.
God bless your mom though. So of the 12 that were born, 8 didn't make it?
8 had passed.
Yeah, and bless your mom. You imagine the anxiety of even going into labor that day. You mothers out there, imagine how difficult labor was for you, but also on top of that, knowing that there was this gigantic percentage chance that the baby wasn't going to make it anyway. Your parents are amazing, man. Yeah,
I always thank them for that. They made me who I am, you know, my mindset.
Yeah, you're amazing, by the way.
I appreciate that.
You are. So I'm fascinated by this. When did you figure out you were different than other people? Was there an age that you remember going, hey, I'm different, or did you like never think you were?
Well, from the earliest of ages, my parents basically sat me down from when I can remember and said, Nick, the world's not going to stop for you because you're born like this. You know, the world's not going to stop, and you're basically going to have to figure out how to do each and everything your way. And getting on a chair is going to be a little bit harder, feeding yourself. So basically, in the most polite and nice way, my parents would put food in front of me and say, Nick, figure it out.
Seriously?
Or put my clothes in front of me and say, Nick, just figure it out, like try your way. And that's all they wanted me to do was, you know, try my best to figure it out. And what that did was it got my mindset in the earliest of ages, got my mindset of the rhythm of, okay, it's not can't, but it's how. And that's like taking different approaches, and that's for everyone. You know, we're gonna have challenges in our life, and they might scare us, they might freak us out, we might be like, oh my God, but if you sit back and be like, okay, how? You know, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna approach this? So, you know, basically throwing reality at me at an early age, because, you know, mom and dad are not gonna be around all the time. You're gonna have to figure out how to dress yourself and feed yourself. Because when I was born, the doctors basically handed over a list to my parents and were like, here's all the things your son won't be able to do. Your son won't be able to feed himself. Your son won't be be able to dress himself, walk. Your son will basically be a big baby for the rest of their life. And that's what I tell people. I said, we have that same choice that my parents had in a different situation. And that is, we can either let other people dictate what we're capable of doing or go out and see what you're capable of doing.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the choice. That's the choice we all have.
You also give a lesson, though, in building a child or building a team. It's like you can't do everything for them, right? They've got to, you need to be willing to let people figure things out for themselves so they build that resiliency, I think, in life. I think as a parent, too often we're trying to do everything for them. Or even as a leader in business, we try to provide every perfect thing for them. Let people figure things out for themselves and build that sort of resiliency amongst themselves. How old were you, by the way, when you could do those things? Like, I'm curious, were you a certain age, you're like, I can dress myself? I mean, things like that, that most people take for granted.
I think it was probably like, I don't know if it was like 3 or 4, but they threw me into a bunch of things. And the one thing that I always tie into life is skateboarding. That was the one thing.
You skateboarded?
Yeah. So it was the one thing, my parents or my brother, I'm not sure who put me on first.
Okay.
But I compare skateboarding to life is because I started off like a surfboard. They put me on my stomach, and it was a cool way for me to get around. I loved it. My brother skateboarded. So I realized, okay, laying on my belly, I'm not going fast enough. I want more. So then Nick realized that if he stood up like this and got his balance, then I could really get some speed. And and then I through falling on my face and getting back up and figuring out, what I can do, I wanted more. And one day I said, Mom and Dad, come outside and learn a trick. And they were like, oh God, what is Nick about to do? I'll do it here real quick. And so I went up to the top of the hill. I'm like, Mom and Dad, you ready? And they're like, what is this kid about to do? And I'm coming down so fast. And I go by them like this.
Holy crap.
And, Nick's going by in a handstand, and my face is like 2 inches from the pavement, and my mom's like, oh my God. And I'm like, did you see that? And the message that I always tell people with that is, they saw, when I posted that, people saw the handstand, but they didn't see how many times I fell on my face. They didn't see the journey. They didn't see how many times that, I scraped myself up and got back up again. And that's the same thing for everyone. We look up to these people. We look up to artists. We look up to DJs, whatever it may be. We look up to all these people. But what you see currently is where they are at now. You didn't see how many times they got denied, how many times they said they weren't pretty enough, good enough, strong enough, whatever it may be. They didn't see that. Dude. So, documenting the journey is so important, and just seeing the grind.
So you knew you were different. I interviewed a guy that's a great friend of mine now, and his mom's been a friend of mine for, 30 years. Cody McCaslin. Cody's missing, or he's had both legs amputated. And he told me, I just want to know if the lesson's true for you. He knew he was different when he was young, and he said one of the things that's most difficult when you're in a situation like that is people not asking you about it. He says, they just stare at you, right? And he said to me, he goes, you know what? My advice is, if you see someone who's different than you, by the way, I think this is even true culturally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you grew up Jewish and there's someone Muslim that you meet, I think they prefer you say, hey, how did you grow up? What's it like, right? So you see someone different than you. And so is that true even as you were growing up? Would it be easier for you if someone just came and go, hey man, what's the deal? Or was that better?
Yeah, absolutely. And when I got into middle school, I say that was a big slap in the face for me, because before that, honestly, I didn't realize. I was just going through the motions. I have to say, I was blessed with a great school system, a great set of friends, and I never ran into like bullying too much.
Okay.
But when I got into middle school, I realized that since I had an 8 in school, that people thought I was mentally slow just because I had an 8 in school, and that I was getting pushed around, and I realized I was getting different treatment. And I always say middle school and high school, we can all agree that that's the most judgmental time of a kid's life, going into that. And that's when I did realize, the kids were pointing or whispering, and growing up, like being like this, you always realize in public people looking at you. Like, it's just a sense you have, because I just feel like you're different, so people are gonna look. So definitely it is better for people to just be like, hey, like, what's going on, or what happened?
What's up?
And I get a lot of people come up and say, oh, thank you for your service. I'm like, oh no, I'm not that type of hero.
They thought it was an IUD or something like that.
And I'm like, because I got the tattoos and everything. And I'm like, no, I'm not that type of hero. I'm not that hero. I was born like this, and it's a lot better when people ask you, because would you rather someone staring at you or be like, hey, like, who are you? What are you?
100%. It's just like, but by the way, speaking of tattoos, I think you have a bunch of really unique ones, but I like this one. Tell them what this says right here.
So this says, you laugh at me because I'm different, and I laugh at you because you're all the same.
Oh my God.
And I'm pretty sure it's a Kurt Cobain quote, but that's what everyone's trying to do, is trying to fit in and trying to, eventually, like I said, in middle school and high school, you're sitting with your little groups and your cliques, but like, wouldn't you rather the people that organically flock to you, those are your tribe, that's your group, because those are the people that love you for your authentic you, rather than wearing this mask, so that's not like, hey, like I'm way different than you, I'm better than you. No, that's like, yo, be yourself, because you are going to organically attract the right things in your life, the right people in your life, because you're being who you are.
Oh, bro, come on, man. That's good.
Thank you.
That's good. And so I'm curious, you did sort of get into this sort of, you said that was the hardest time of your life was middle school and high school, at least the beginning of high school. Did you kind of go into a little bit of a depression, sort of down on yourself? And then if you did, how'd you get out of it?
Yeah, so middle school, high school, I was at an all-time low for me, and my big question was why? I realized I was different, and I realized, some of the negativity of kids staring at me. I was just like, why? There's billions of people. Why do I have to be on this earth with no legs and one arm? These kids don't know what I'm going through. Why? And when I got into high school, I realized, that I was in the slump, and I realized that confidence is a skill. It's not just something that you wake up with. And that's what I thought. When I thought in middle school and high school, I was like, well, I guess I'm just not born with confidence. I thought you either had it or you didn't. But to show people that's a skill and you gradually work on it. So I needed to work on myself. And I'm lucky that I realized that the only person that's going to make a drastic change in your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like you were talking about, is you. You have to take control of yourself. And I realized, I was like, man, like one choice. You have one choice. I can either look at all the negative I have in my life and focus on that, which won't propel me, it will dig me to a hole, or I can focus on all the good and all I'm capable of doing, and that will elevate me. So when I was freshman year, it was funny, my best friend, we're still best friends to this day, and all my wrestler best friends are we're still best friends, but he was a bowler, and in my high school, I was like, man, if I could be part of a team, just like a group, something, a support system, I'll feel better about myself. I'll be labeled as, an athlete, if it's a bowler, whatever it may be. I'm an athlete, Nick's an athlete. So I that fired me up. So I remember our varsity team was super good, and our JV bowling team was undefeated until I joined the team. and I joined the JV team, and I remember, I totally remember they didn't even have the correct jersey for me. I had an older jersey, so it's me, and people are like, how's this kid gonna bowl? And I was just throwing a ball down the lane, and I realized that I wanted much more. That it wasn't challenging me enough, and I wanted something more physical. And so I got into my sophomore year, and all my best friends, they all were on the wrestling team. They all were all stud wrestlers for my high school. My older brother was a wrestler for that same high school, but I never got to go to high school with him. So the coaches knew me.
They knew your family.
And so I was like, man, I thought wrestlers were the coolest thing, the hardest physical sport, physically and mentally, I want to be a wrestler. So at the time, this arm was about 5 inches longer than it is now. And my bone was growing faster than my skin. So it was like your finger, but super pointy. So I couldn't really touch it on things. It was super sensitive.
And painful too, right?
Yes, painful. So I used to tuck it, because if I would have hit my arm hard enough, my bone would have came through. That's how but that's how light it is. And so I made that decision to myself. I said, if I could become a wrestler, if I could be with my friends, just get after it in the room, it would make me feel so much better about myself and just lift me up. And so I came home one day and I said, Mom and Dad, I want to be a wrestler. And I remember I waited for my dad to be home. And my parents supported me in everything and anything throughout my life. As long as you're happy, we want you to do it. But this was a little bit different. I said, Mom and Dad, I want to be a wrestler. My mom was like, oh my God, Nick, wrestling's the most physical sport. If you're out there, you hit your arm. And I was I was a 17, 18-year-old kid. I looked at him and I said, can we cut it off?
Oh my gosh, bro.
And they were like, what? And I'm like, can we take care of this? It's not helping. And, it took me a couple hours, but I persuaded my parents to schedule an amputation. So we found the best doctor, and they basically lasered 5 inches of my arm off and did a skin graft. So they pulled extra skin and pulled it over my bone so I'd have, padding. And I always tell people, the only little mountain, the only little challenge that I saw that was stopping me from wrestling was the fact that my arm hurt. It wasn't the fact that I was born with no legs on my arm, because I knew that my hard work and dedication, if I worked harder than the able body, it would make up for my lack of limbs. If I put the work in, work my butt off, that this wouldn't matter, it wouldn't matter. So I made that decision, and so my sophomore year, I always say I was the happiest kid to cut his arm off.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, so we amputated my arm my sophomore year, and remember, I love food, we're Italian, and I missed Halloween that year because I was in a cast. I had 17 stitches in my arm, and I remember going back to school, and I was so happy. Like I said, happiest kid who just cut his arm off, and people are like, dude, what did you just do? And I'm like, oh, I amputated my arm, I'm gonna be a wrestler. And it was the same cycle. It was people, dude, you can't wrestle. It was, dude, how are you gonna be a wrestler? You have no legs and one arm. Dude, let's be real. The outside noise, the naysayers, the haters. And I said, you're right. I'm not gonna become a wrestler. I'm gonna become a varsity wrestler. And I think from the earliest of ages, from my parents telling me what the doctors told me and all this, I always carried a little bit of chip on my shoulder to show people what I'm truly capable of doing.
Can we just stop for a second here?
We can stop.
You to go wrestle. So there's all these. By the way, a lot of you are parents or you're a young athlete watching this. You go, man, I'm wrestling. Man, it's so hard to cut weight. Or I got to go to the gym. Or man, I got to miss my party on the weekend to go to practice. This guy cut his arm off to go wrestle, right? And by the way, that's going into it knowing I don't actually have every other thing going for me to go dominate in this sport. It's actually after bowling, which by the way, I would love to see you bowl. That just to me is like the coolest visual in the world. But the fact that you go for bowling just to belong to a team, you're like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to a next standard, a next level, I want to go wrestle. Then to have your parents kind of still back it though, man, and do you go to that extreme, like what are you willing to do to chase your dream? This guy's willing to cut his arm off, right? Part of it. I mean, what are you willing to do to chase your dream? What's the sacrifice you're willing to make? And how does it compare to that?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Willie.
And I'm Sherry.
And we're the real
Browns. Let's go.
Let's go, let's go.
Let's go.
Carrot bars, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. Carrot bars, baby. What are you willing to cut off for your dream? Willie Brown. Yes, yes. All right, let's go, let's go. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning, good morning. Good morning with the real Browns, Willie and guys, we are so excited to be here with you today. And I'm telling you, that pre-call was so amazing, don't you think, Willie? Man, well, I picked that because as I was traveling about a week and a half ago, I'm always looking and searching for something to definitely inspire people, encourage people, let people know if someone else can do it, then they can do it as well. And this gentleman right here, I'm telling you, Nick is amazing with his condition on what he had to go through even as a child. You know, he's relentless, and that's the things that we have to do as well. But before we really get into talking about that pre-call, babe, just want to tell the people who we are. For those that don't know, we are the and I'm the only one that knows him. But anyway, yes, yes. So look, Mr. Willie Brown, as you guys know, comedian, ventriloquist, been doing it for over 30 years. I am his production and road manager. We're producers of Gospel Comedy Live, and we are proud to be full-time VIP Carrot Bars affiliates. That's right. That's right. So guys, for you guys that are new to this call today, what we would like to do is we're going to give you a brief overview of Carrot Bars International. Are you ready for this, Mr. Willie Brown?
Mr. Brown, we can't hear you. You're a little far from your microphone. Mr. Brown, we can't hear you. You're too far from your microphone.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
There you are.
Yeah, there he is.
I don't know what happened there, but okay, here we go. Carrot Bars International, an e-commerce company, has made available a simple wealth building system for everyone on the planet.
In and out, Mr. Brown. In and out.
Must be the internet.
Okay, for some reason, if someone could go ahead and pick up that overview for us, I don't know, we might have technical difficulties on this end. Our mics are open and we are screaming. So, Mr. Michael Dalco, go ahead with that, please.
I knew you were going to ask me to do that. I knew it. Oh, my goodness. Carrot Bars International, an e-commerce company, has made available a simple wealth building program for everyone on the planet who is 18 years of age and over, with 3 optional ways to participate. Option 1, save gold. Option 1, save gold. We all start here. We complete the pre-registration for our gold savings account and start acquiring Carrot Bars Gold in small, affordable increments. Carrot Bars International has made it easy by making available a feature called Auto Exchange. At Wealth Builders Worldwide, we call that pay yourself first. You set up your account, automatically start exchanging your paper currency for Karatbars Gold. You can do it weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. You simply set it, just forget it. You can go back and increase it. But activating this feature allows you to automatically pay yourself first with physical gold. There are no fees of any kind. It takes less than 5 minutes to register, and every time you acquire Karatbars Gold, you are building your family's wealth. Option 2, save and earn. Look, if it makes sense for you to save gold, wouldn't it make sense for you to tell some other people, right? So as an independent affiliate, when you save gold for yourself and share with others how to do the same, you position yourself to be compensated monthly through our unilevel compensation plan. You are virtually in business for yourself in over 140 plus countries. And then option 3 is to maximize your earning potential. If you like making money monthly and you want to make more, simply choose one of several business packages, which now positions you to generate cash flow monthly and weekly through our dual system compensation plan. These packages are income producing assets. So some people say, well, why Karatbars? The Karatbars Gold Savings Account gives you protection against future financial crisis and right now crisis and rapid inflation. It protects your hard-earned paper currency with physical gold. Karatbars International is the only system in the world where you can get free gold. And gold is a store of wealth and values and appreciating asset. There are 3 major benefits of a Karatbars Gold Savings Account. 1, you can start saving gold right now with small increments of gold. Number 2, Karatbars International puts you in position to build a global business from the comfort of your home, and we're all stuck in the house. And number 3, there are significant tax advantages to owning your own home-based business. So Wealth Builders' mission, and that's our team here, is to provide individuals worldwide with the tools required to enhance their lives, achieve their dreams, and build massive wealth. We are salespeople. We are a sales team, but we're not selling products, goods, and services. We are selling people on the infinite possibilities of their lives, the power of their dreams. We sell people on never giving up. We believe this is a noble cause. So get back with the person that shared this call with you today. Let them know you're ready to open your free gold savings account right now. Back to you, Real Browns.
Right now, right now. Thank you so much, Mr. Michael Dalco, for an excellent reading of the overview. Yes. Oh my goodness. So you knew I was going to call you out to do that. Not many people would have called you out, Mr. Dalco. But since you're Jason Pompey's best friend, I figure I'd give you a chance. How about that?
That's called executive privilege.
That is. Come on, somebody. So guys, again, we are the Real Browns.
Yes,
Can you hear Mr. Willie Brown?
Just every now and then. He just needs to talk on your mic.
He is talking from my computer on my mic.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what's going on with him.
Maybe because he's a ventriloquist and Woody is actually speaking. I don't know.
Pull Willie out of that suitcase.
But guys, look, to me, that power call, that the pre-call was so amazing because it's just to show us that when you put your mind and make your mind up to do what is necessary for you to make your dreams come true, what will you cut off? I mean, this gentleman, he was already born without his limbs. You know, he had the hand-heart syndrome. But what the amazing thing is that majority, he was the 12th one that was born at that with hand-heart syndrome. And it was just a blessing that all of his organs were properly functioning. And normally when a person is born with hand-heart syndrome, their organs are not even functioning properly. I mean, this is a situation where many have passed away as children because of this syndrome. But I'm telling you, Nick he's amazing, and he had proven to himself and to the world and to his parents that he was going to be relentless no matter what, to the point of, in order to wrestle, as you guys heard, cutting off the rest of his arm, the bone that will prevent him from doing that. I mean, how many of us will even go to that extreme to make our dreams come true? And so, Mr. Willie Brown, what was your take on that?
I like the fact that Nick focused on what he could do and not what he couldn't do. And we should focus on what we can do and not on what we can't do. And the fact that we're quarantined right now in our homes and we can't go anywhere, but we have carrot bars at our fingertips is a blessing. We can work from the safety and comfort of our homes, and we can earn real money in real time.
Yes, that's so true, because, you know, prayers to everyone that's experiencing death in their families, friends, loved ones, because of what we're going through with this virus. But we have to continue to live. We have to continue to live. We have to continue to press forward in life, and what does it take for you to continue to move? It takes income. It takes money to do that. It takes you continuing to, focus on your dream and setting goals. So guys, that's why we are here. We're here to show you guys a way, and that it is possible to make your dreams come true.
It's not just a way, it is the way.
Come on, somebody.
Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm one of those people who have been severely affected by it, because I'm an event performer. And we cannot perform. All of our dates were canceled. So we've had thousands of dollars worth of dates canceled over the next 2-3 months. So we have to do carrot bars. There's nothing else. There is nothing else.
Yes, and I would just like to say, we want to do carrot bars. We want to do carrot bars because even through what we're doing with the comedy, carrot bars has definitely sustained our household. Carrot bars has allowed us to put income into our dream and our vision to make those come true. So guys, without further ado, what I want to do right now is bring back the gentleman that you heard that done the overview. He's Jason Pompey's best friend. And I'm so proud of him and his lovely wife, Manisha Dalco. And guys, I'm telling you, Michael and Manisha Dalco, you guys, this guy was in the mortgage banking industry for 15 years. So you think he knows some things about some money on the other side? Yes, he does. And Manisha, 20 years corporate trainer. This is why you see all of what we have at our Let's Go weekends and our upcoming events that's going to be on this Saturday for our live event with Wealth Builders. She is the woman behind the scene making that happen. But to top it all, full-time and retired Carrot Bars affiliate. Over to you, over to the Dalcos. Welcome to the call.
Man, look, I'm going to do everything in my power to hold this part of the call for me together. When I tell you, I started this call, the Power Call, 6 years ago with Kimberly, Kamaya Israel, Earl Nixon, Sam Collins, and a couple of other folks. That call was started for days like this. It was started for days like this. That young man, Nick, and that pre-call was so inspiring. Till if he was not born for any other reason than to bring me that message today, it's all been worth it. And I hate to be that selfish about it, but that message touched me and impacted me in such a deep and profound way. There is no way that I can ever think anything's wrong in my life. He overcame every obstacle just getting here on the planet. he overcame it. He excelled and did things that no one thought he had any business doing. And here we are, listening to that inspiring message, and it literally shifted what I thought was a very positive mindset into hyperdrive. Sherry and Willie Brown, thank you guys for what you do. It is a gift from God to be able to hear in the spirit realm, pull down a message and bring it to the world. In the timing of it was so spectacular. When we say we sell people on the infinite possibilities of their lives, what are you capable of? In light of what you heard that young man say this morning, what is your truest potential? There may be some people out there. My son had double amputation. Son, I hope you're listening to this call today. My God, what is your potential? I heard a philosopher say, our greatest fear is not that we're woefully inadequate, but that we are powerful beyond belief. The Bible says you are princes, kings, sons of God, but you'll die like men. And it's because we don't realize and bring out that fullness of our potential. Oh my God, this call was amazing. So no matter, I'm gonna end with this, no matter how excited you get about what Dr. Seitz is doing with Carrot Bars, and he's doing some incredible things. He is killing it. No matter how good this vehicle gets, don't you ever take your eye off the ball. What is the ball? The ball is we are the magic. We make this happen. Carrot Bars is an inanimate object without your power and your spirit behind it to push it forward. You are making this happen. Don't you ever think that it's Carrot Bars that's going to make this work. It's you going to make it work. How do you know that? Because some people have been winning the whole time. It's not the product, it's not the goal, it's not the comp plan, it's not the enhancements. Don't you ever put your head down again and think that Mr. Seitz got to do this or do that. No, you. It's you. You've got the magic in you. Back to you guys.
Woo! Man, that is so awesome. You know, and I had a thought, Mr. Michael Dalco, when we were on the international conference yesterday, and when Dr. Harold Seitz came out on that video and said some of the things that he was doing for the people, I'm thinking, how amazing for a man such as that to have the heart that he does for the people. Because check this out, I've been in some entrepreneur things before, and I never really experienced what we're going through now, but I really seriously doubt the people that are in charge of the company, the business, or whatever, have went to the extreme. I mean, some jobs are not even helping people to be able to have income. This gentleman in a business such as this, entrepreneur, is taking time to make sure not only do we have goals, but we have the currency that we need in order to sustain us through these hard times.
So Sherry, let me just say one little half thing. We lost you just a tiny bit at the very end, but we could hear you. Let me say this last thing. Mr. Brown, I was not aware. It didn't dawn on me. Man, my God, I love you guys. It did not dawn on me what you said at the end is that your income with your business is based on live appearances. Did not dawn on me. But here's the thing, man. When we were listening to what Mr. Seitz was saying yesterday, and Mr. Best was late getting on because he had a situation he had to handle with his family, he got on the last 15 minutes. When I recapped for him, he was happy, but he wasn't overly excited. Why? Because he's not moved necessarily by the business, and I know he'll clean that up better when he comes on. The point I'm trying to make is his confidence is in him. It's not in the business. The business is just a vehicle. It's a phenomenal Lamborghini with 20-inch tires. It's fabulous with jet fuel, yes. But if you never take driving lessons and you don't get in the car and turn the key, it'll sit there in your driveway beautiful. You won't get the performance out of it. He was not overly impressed like a lot of people were. It's like, oh, that's good, man. Okay, well, let's go. It was no different than last week. Willie, you got this, brother. Man, whatever you need, Doc. 3-way calls, let's lock arms. You won't miss a beat. Oh,
I believe that, and I'm seeing it already. So hey, we're
Woo.
ready to go.
Yes, come on now. Look,
Woo.
guys, we got to kick this thing over to, look,
The dream matter, man.
yes, are you a dreamer? And if you are a dreamer, you need to dream bigger. I would like to bring to the platform the Best family, Mr. Tyrone and Mrs. Valerie Best. Dream bigger. Welcome to the call. Yes, the Dream Chaser Manifesto. Let's go.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Team Best, what do we say?
Oh.
Look, I just want to say good morning. Great call this morning, folks. I'm not going to say much. I'm cranked up. I'm going to say two things. You've been hearing me say it for the last 2 weeks. Christ is what? Christ is opportunity ride on the swift wind. This is a crisis for some folks, but it's an opportunity for others who have the vision. And right now they're saying do what? Stay home, quarantine yourself, stay inside the house. Well, that's been my dream for the longest time anyway. What? I've been talking about a home-based business. That's what we have. You now see this as an opportunity to change not just your life, but the lives of so many people. Dream big, be on the 12 o'clock presentation, be on every presentation, man. It was packed last night. Then Mr. Delk and I went off for another hour. It was packed. Mr. Murray did a great job. It's going to be packed at 12 o'clock today. It's going to be packed at 9 o'clock tonight. See this thing. And then, of course, this morning, I would encourage you sometime if they get a chance to go see the Pajama Talk, which I did this morning at 7:30 this morning on a live stream because I just woke up, couldn't sleep, not excited, couldn't sleep, not because of stress, work, couldn't sleep because I'm too excited for all the things Dr. Harold Sykes has done for us. Miss Valerie Best, say hello.
Hello, hello. I tell you what. Good morning, Miss Sherry Brown and Willie Brown. Anyway.
Good morning, Mrs. Valerie Best.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited too. I just said, oh God, I need a bunker in the head to make myself go to sleep because I'm so excited. So it is true, and it's not because of stress. It's like, hey, now I've been a homebody anyway for a long time. Every time I gotta go to grown, I gotta go out and do X, Y, Z. That's why I love having things delivered to me. I've been doing that since the 90s, though, so this isn't new. But I'm excited because this is an opportunity because people are looking. They're avidly looking now, and this is our opportunity more so than ever to tell them about Karatbars, Wealth Village Worldwide. Join Karatbars, Wealth Village Worldwide, and to see the opportunity and the whole opportunity, not just the financial opportunity that Dr. Harold Constantine Site put together, the whole opportunity to be able to work at home while people are in this crisis. We got paid again today. Everybody got paid today. I can't speak, and I'm not gloating. This is not gloating. This is a sobering reality. What we've been talking to people about in the 6 years we've been in the business, okay, is you need a home-based business. Why? Because you need that. We're not telling people to quit their job and go full-time. We're saying that you need it in addition to what you're doing, because what if you do need to go full-time? And it's not if, it's when. Okay, I beg people to try to take that word "if" out of the vocabulary. Now, if you sign up, if you do this, when you sign up, when you go full-time, that's what I'm talking about. We have been full-time, and we've been blessed by, and for over 30 years, Ty for over 20 years. Okay, my sons have been full-time the entire time, and that was a plan. That didn't just fall into our lap. We made it a plan, and amazing. This is what I think, good gracious. This is before YouTube, live stream, Facebook, Google, and all the different methods you could talk to people. So to me, it's like, or email, even before email. You know, a lot of people see email starting and say, yeah, but a lot of people and companies still use email. They're communicating for me from email since their stores have been shuttered for a little time. So this is, if you missed the mark a couple of years ago, or you missed the mark, this is the time now to get in the game and get it done. Over to you, Mr. Best.
And let me say this one thing. Mr. Delco made a statement. I wanted to touch on about my energy. See, folks, my energy is for the people in the business. My energy is for the dream. And it's the same all the time. Okay, and my confidence is in Dr. Harold Sites and Karatbars. And so I have the same energy every day. I give Karatbars the same effort, the same energy every day, regardless of the comp plan, regardless of what they're doing, because I've been around them for 6 years. I understand it's all good. I mean, I know that's cliche, but I too believe it's all good. So I give it the same amount of energy all the time. But this morning, yeah, I woke up all cranked up this morning. But you're correct, Mr. Delkin, the same as I heard it. I got excited about it. I said, yeah, that's great. That's exciting. I'm not excited for me. I'm excited for the people because my energy is not going to change. It doesn't matter. I'm not a fair weather player. I'm not a fair weather player. People still need Karatbars like yesterday. They still need Karatbars last week. They still need Karatbars before the coronavirus. They needed Karatbars last year. They needed Karatbars 6 years ago. They needed Karatbars before Dr. Harold Sites created Karatbars. I've been for 37 years. I'm fired up. I don't need a catastrophe. I need a pandemic to tell me what was needed. Okay? It was obvious what was needed. Anytime you got a whole population on a whole planet enslaved, working 40, 6 hours a week for somebody else, this thing been needed.
Come on,
man.
now.
It's obvious. Don't get me started. God bless. Back to you guys. Team best. What do we say?
Come on now. Oh my God. Man, you talk about a whole nother conversation. And you know, that is so true, Mr. Best, everything that you said, because just like Mr. Dalco, you know, not until today, when Mr. Brown mentioned it, that he realized that, see, being a comedian ventriloquist has been his dream that has manifested for over 30 years. So guys, we're not telling you to stop what you're doing as far as your dream, your goals, and what what you were actually born and feel like you're supposed to do. But what we're saying is that we have this vehicle called Karatbars International in our hands that's going to enhance that. But it didn't seem like we missed the beat, because thank God for Karatbars International, because we have it. Because of our vehicle. See, even when your dreams seem like it's shut down, even if your hope it seems like it's shut down, if you stay in that vehicle that got you there, you're going to continue to arrive at your destination. So I'm just so thankful. Guys, before we go any further with this call today, what I would like to do, we have so many leaders and people that are on this call today. So if the moderators, guys, you can help me just give a shout out to who we have on the line today, listening in. Leaders in the chat box, please mention who you are and where you are calling from. Let's go. And moderators, if you could unmute yourself and just help me give those shout outs, please.
Okay, we got Bloomington, Illinois, Maurice
James
Muhammad.
Stevens, Jonesboro.
Myrtle Placid, New York, Adam Pembroke.
In
Plainwood,
Dallas, what's
Michigan.
up, family?
Let's see, Karen Gilliam in Raleigh.
Brother Bernard Jackson,
Maureen Childs. Tashina Poole in Greenville, South
Texas in the building.
Alex Brown,
DC is in the building.
Dale Heath, come on now.
Maria Johnson, Team Empire, New York.
Johnny B out of Chattanooga.
Lenny Bones, Richmond, Virginia.
Yes.
Creek in the house, Debbie Shaw.
Michigan.
Linda Hanna out of
Orlando.
Sam Washington out of Frisco, Texas.
Hey, Mike Dalco's on this train.
Mike Dalco is on
Richmond.
David out of Maryland. Dr. Hollins out of Texas.
David from Maryland.
James
Collins, Muhammad, let's go.
Norman Crowder, Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Minister of Foreign, just the normal.
Greensboro in the house.
All right.
South Carolina. Taylor
We just wanted to acknowledge you today on the Power Call and to let the world know that we are plugged in no matter what. And I just believe that this 5 to 6 year training that we have had with Wealth Builders Worldwide, working from home, whether you've been doing it part-time or full-time, plugged in, it has prepared us to be able to work from home.
Hey, Sherry Brown.
Yes.
Rachel Rose from the Netherlands and Miss Corsica's from Coricius from Dubai. I just want to throw that in there.
Yes, all across the world. Come
All
on
over the
now.
world, baby.
All over the world. Yeah, guys. And look, as I was saying, you know, could you imagine you were on your job for 15, 20 years? You never experienced working from home. You never been pushed where you had to go from working in a structured building in your cubicle, even having to do your work without your boss standing over your shoulder saying, this needs to be done, that needs. Some people have been pushed out and said, here, do this from home. And I said that to say, this has been a training format for us for over 5 years to teach us how to work from home. Some people are actually going to lose their job because they don't know how to work from home. Because instead of being dedicated to doing their job from home, I could imagine they're doing other things. So I thank you guys for just staying plugged in and making this thing happen for you and your family. Whew. Guys, look, I'm going to kick this thing over into the Q&A portion of this call. Here we go. All right, all right. So as you know, you need to raise your hand to get into the queue. And also, when you're selected, make sure you unmute yourself to speak. Dial in callers if you're listening on the line today. Please press *9 to raise your hand on this platform. And here we go. All right, Mr. Reggie Scott, you're live.
Care boys. Good morning to the real Browns. This is Reggie, part of the multi-millionaire Syntex Gold Elite team here in Killeen, Texas. And let me tell you, wow, what a phenomenal pre-call. And Mr. Delco, you crushed the overview. Hey, let me tell you, from a blind man with vision beyond sight, anybody can do this, man. There is nothing else. Carrot Boys is standing right there on top. So shout out to the team, my dear wife, Cynthia, and wealth builders worldwide. We got this. Let's go. Oh.
Come on now, Reggie Scott. Yes. Thank you so much for chiming in today.
All right, coming to you from Sonoya, Georgia.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Good morning. This is Sharon and Ronald calling out of Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much to the Real Browns for paying that pre-call this morning. That's just another example of what persistence and dedication can do if you just put your mind to what it is you wanted to do. And Ronald and I was just discussing last night how happy we are that we know Mr. Willie Brown, who introduced us to this amazing opportunity, because now through this crisis, we are not even stressing about what it's going to look like on the other side of it. So thank you so much to all the leaders, Mr. Best, Mr. Delco, Miss Valerie Best, love your energy. Thank you to all of the leaders. Everyone have a golden day, ahoo, and back to you.
Well, thank you so much, Ronald and Sharon Vicks, for all that you do. Come on, somebody. All right. Next we have up Marcellus Duke James. You're live.
Good morning, Wealth Builders. This is Marcellus Duke James calling out of Richmond, Virginia. I just got to say that was an empowering call. Empowering. Definitely beating the odds and making it happen, I just want to say thank you to all. Have a wonderful, great day. Oh, and we out.
Well, thank you so much for calling in today. And guys, I would like to bring to the platform right now, Dr. Patrice Gordon. Over to you, sir. And you may be muted. Well, if you can get in whenever, Dr. Patrice, just let us know and we will bring you to the platform.
I'm in. Good morning. Can you hear me, Sister Sherry?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, yes, slow computer. But Lady Lisa and I, we want to congratulate Mrs. Crystal Johnson from Baltimore, Maryland, for joining. See, last night that live presentation from what I call the triple threat against debt. That's Mr. Tabes, Mr. Michael Dalco, and of course, Mr. Al Murray. After listening, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, she got completely fired up about Karatbars. She saw how it could help her and her husband to achieve their family's goals and dreams, and she is working on the KYCs right now so she can move forward to get a multi-pack. Shout out also to all of my friends from the Philadelphia area and also Baltimore, Maryland that are watching and listening today. And that great overview by Mr. Michael Dalco, you dropped the mic, sir. Shout out to the team, lovely Lady Lisa and all wealth builders worldwide. Back to you, Mrs. Sherry and Mr. Willie Brown. Ahoo.
Well, thank you so much, you and Lady Lisa, my Pepper, for everything that you do. And the King family from Destiny Radio, you are now live Dynasty. Oh, I read that wrong.
It's all good. Good morning, the real
Good
Brown.
morning.
Brown, yesterday. This is Jamal King, aka King Leader 19, calling in out of Washington, D.C. Just wanted to lend my voice to the call. Shout out to all the Gold Gladiators all over this here universe. Awesome pre-call, awesome overview. Shout out to the Queen Leader, shout out to the Princess Leader.
I have my destiny on my mind. Please forgive me. All right, all right. Mr. Probin Thompson, you are now live, sir.
Hello, team. Good morning to the Browns. You guys are doing a phenomenal job, as usual. No surprises there. Great pre-call, Mr. Delco. You definitely crushed it. Oh, Sherry, I wanted to let you know you and I share birthdays together. So happy belated February birthday to you. And I just wanted to hop on this call, things that are happening right now. Just like Mr. Best said, get in touch with everybody from his statement last night. Get in touch with all those people that are, I think it was Mr. Delco actually, that have not been plugged in, because there's no time better than right now for them to really wake up and see what blessing they have. I'm out.
Well, thank you so much for chiming in today. And that is awesome that we share the same birthday. Yes. Thank you so much again for chiming in. We now have
You are live.
Samsung J727A. All right, we're going to kick this thing over to 202-309. You are now live.
Greetings, Wealth Builders family, the best household, the Delco household. Willie and Sherry Brown, always the bomb. Thank you so much for that this morning. This is Gina Askew calling out of Washington, D.C. I'd like to give congratulations to Carl Gibson for becoming a new family member, and Stephanie, and I can't pronounce her last name, and also Malcolm Dixon. Mr. Gibson has his bronze package, and I just want to say I'm just so grateful to be a part of Karatbars. So let's go. Get the goal so we can experience life and live in love and giving. Continue blessings. I'm out.
All right. Well, thank you so much for chiming in. Welcome to the team, and congratulations on those packages.
Next caller on the line is Mr. Eric Teray Muhammad, coming to you live. You're live.
Mr. Muhammad.
I'm here.
All right.
What it do, Browns? What it do?
What it do?
Amazing call. That pre-call with Mr. Nick and all of these overcome. It leaves you understanding that you really have no excuses, because where there's life, there's always hope. That's the beauty about it all. Where there's life, there's always hope. And when you look at the opportunity that we have in front of everybody, we are carrying a bucket of hope. Each and every one of us has it at the touch of a cell phone, at the click of a computer. computer or laptop. We have the hope that the world is looking for. Let's keep grinding. Let's keep shining. Let's get out there and offer it to them. Home-based business and the safety and comfort of their own home. I love you, Browns. I love you, Dalcos. I love you, Best. Ahoo, Muhammad, we out.
All right. Yes, bucket of hope. Come on, somebody. Thank you so much. Always good to hear your voice on the call, brother. We're kicking this over to the Parkinson household. You are now live.
Hey, great fan, glorious morning. Sherry Brown, this is the Parkinson's Team Boss, bossing it up. What an amazing call you put together today. We just wanted to add our voice to the call.
Well, thank you so much for chiming in. It's always a pleasure to hear you on the call. And shout out to baby Candace. Yes, yes, yes.
Michigan, we got brother Darren Dismute. Go ahead, Darren. You're live.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Hello, everyone. This is Darren Dismuke, free man in America. Enjoy the call. Enjoy everything about this family. I'd like to welcome 3 new members to the Wealth Builders family. That's Edwin Bertley, Dwayne Thompson, and Kevin Gillespie to our team. And just want to tell everybody, keep reaching for the stars, keep your head up, and don't let nothing slow you down. I love you, family. Ahoo!
Yes, yes, yes. And we love you guys as well. Yes, keep your head to the sky. Come on now. Next leader, Hollywood.
What's up? What's up? What's up? This is Cherie Hollywood Hicks, Texas Don't Rush Gladiator on the call. This is an absolutely amazing call. Like finest Parkinson said, this call is the truth. Sherry, you doing an amazing job. Mr. Dalco is an awesome overview. Wow. I mean,
Oh, yes, Cherie Hollywood Hicks. Girl, you know we love you. Yes, come on now. All right. Next leader, you are now live. Daniel Higgins.
Hello, everyone. Higgins coming to you live. Another amazing call, Miss Sherry Brown. Man, such an honor to be connected to such an amazing team.
Thank you for chiming in today, Mr. Daniel Higgins. Yes. Coming to the platform, Demi.
Mrs. Brown.
You know, when you have a status like you, Demi, you only have to use one name. So that's why I always call you Demi. It's not out of disrespect, but all you need is one name. Over to you, Demi.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Brown. Look, I don't look at it in disrespect. I'm just so honored and privileged to be connected to such amazing leadership like yourself, your husband, and going up the ladder to Mr. Ty Best, Mr. Delco, and going further up with the amazing CEO we have, that is Dr. Harold Sides, and what he's doing for the world. I just wanted to add my voice to the queue, and also I can never forget my sponsor, Miss Valerie Smith. Can't say her name enough. But I just wanted to share with that pre-call was so amazing because me being paralyzed once upon a time, having an L1, L2 fracture, and having to learn how to walk again and never giving up on that ability. And it was an embarrassing moment, but I didn't give up. And when the people saw that I could start grabbing things and moving from the wheelchair to the 4-way cane to the 1 cane and being able to run again, the ability is all about mindset and never quitting. So thank you for that pre-call. Thank you for everyone and the leadership that you're giving us, Ms. Sherry Brown and Brother Brown as well. Ahoo!
Always a pleasure to hear your voice, Demi. Yes. Yes. Next leader, CC Mahone. You're live, lady.
Good morning to the Real Browns. This is CC Mahone calling out of Georgia. That was an excellent pre-call this morning. And after hearing that, there are no excuses, period. And I just want to shout out to the team because they are the magic, because Team Audacity has the audacity to dream big. Back to you.
All right, all right. Yes, Team Audacity. Y'all better keep going. Don't stop. Don't give up. We got this. Come on now. Next leader, you are now live.
Good morning, good morning. It's Glenn Perkins representing Team Audacity. I'm glad to follow Miss CC Mahone. What a phenomenal leader. Just want to say I am just glad to be on this phenomenal team. Wealth Builders Worldwide, like I say, headed up by Mr. Ty Best and started by Mr. Harold Seif. Everyone stay plugged in. Have a great day and present hope to the world. Out.
All right, all right. Thank you so much for chiming in today. All right, all right. Next caller, you're live. And you may need to be unmuted. You may need to unmute yourself. How about we do this? Deborah Nixon out of Florida. Talk to us, sis.
Good morning, my sister and Willie Brown. What an amazing call today. And Ty Best, I got to tell you, you kicked it off this morning. I opened my eyes, didn't even get the coffee on. You became my cup of coffee this morning. So thank you, my brother. Much love this morning. And I'm going to break down the barriers and not name any teams. I'm going to say all team leaders in Florida, let's go. We have a summit coming up in August, and we need to get moving because we're not letting nothing stop us. Let's go, people. Ah-ooh.
Ah-ooh. Let's go. 706-206. You are now live.
Talking to me?
I'm talking to
Hello?
you. Yes, yes.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm glad you called me. Thank you, Elkalum. Great Horizons. Great pre-call with Mr. Best overview. Y'all are so awesome. You're all extraordinary, Mrs. Brown. Mr. Best, he said, keep on pushing, and I needed that. Mrs. Delco, my sister passed away yesterday, and she was accompanying for the banks. She was doing the accounting, and she did a lot of accounting, and she had a stroke, but she was in a coma. She woke back up. She did 4 books, and she passed on, but the ball is in your court as long as your heart is beating. We could do this. New affiliate, Tabitha Jack, and Shantae Combs. Yes, he's related to P. Diddy Combs. How big is your dream? Let's jump up. Let's do this. Ah-ooh, ah-ooh, ah-ooh. Love y'all.
Well, we love you. We love you too. And sincere condolences to your sis. We'll keep your family in prayers. God bless. Thank you for chiming in today. Let's go. Next leader, you're live. And you're unmuted. All right. Moving forward. Next leader, you're live. How about we have some fun and go over to the Minister of Fun? Let's go.
Hey, young lady, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, now, you say freedom, that sets Mr. Dalco off. He goes in. If you say anything that's negative, Mr. Best, you say anything negative, Mr. Dalco gonna go off. Pretty sure I heard that young lady say breaking down barriers, talking about unity. That is becoming one of my strong suits. But, guys, take the paper, as much of that as you can. Take the crypto as much as you can and exchange it for the 5,000 year plus actual money that has never failed. Get the new gold multi-pack if you haven't got one already. Tell as many people as you can. And to keep it positive, all over social media, guys, post the opposite, death tolls, God forbid, and all the cases. Let everybody know. 172,000 yesterday was the number that has recovered. Today, it's 185,000 plus. Let's go. Ahoo, ahoo, ahoo. I'm out.
All right, all right. Well, thank you so much for chiming in today, guys. And that's going to end our Q&A for today because we do have our noon presentation that's going to be starting shortly. So we want to be able to prepare you to text out your people and to get them on that live presentation, guys. So moving forward, guys, you know what? This weekend, yes, Wealth Builders Online event. Let's go worldwide. Let's go worldwide. It's happening Saturday, April 4th. Guys, you know Mr. Sides is going to be in the building, along with the guest speakers that you now see on the screen. You need to go to WBWEvents.com to get your tickets. So do not miss this. After watching that pre-call, there is no more excuses. Just ask Nick. Mr. Michael Dalco, would you like to come in and expound on this event, sir?
Indeed. So yesterday was epic. It was momentous. It was a game changer when they did the global presentation of the enhancements that the amazing, the brilliant Dr. Seitz brought out to help us make more money faster and accumulate more hard assets in gold. That also allows us to exchange the gold for fiat if we need it without the necessity of having it shipped home to take it to a gold dealer. There's nothing like this. This thing is phenomenal. And Dr. Seitz was on video at that meeting. He's not going to be on video at this meeting. He's going to be live on the screen on this meeting. He's going to be live and in living color on this meeting. So this will be our first opportunity to literally get to chat face to face with Dr. Harold Constantine Seitz. Saturday, 12 noon, I think Dr. Seitz' event is later that afternoon. Mr. Cameron Gamble will be doing the presentation. We're going to make the presentation available for everyone in the world, absolutely for free, for this global online event. You can register for it at wbwevents.com. But the presentation portion at the very beginning is free for everyone. So cannot wait to see you guys. And let me say one more time, what a blessing. What a blessing this call has been today. It's been a blessing, Sherry and Willie. Thank you guys. Back to you. Oh, I'll be doing the presentation at 12, and I promise to be on my best behavior so you guys don't have to be embarrassed to send your friends today. I promise. I'm going to do good. I'm going to put on a nicer shirt real quick, and I'm going to be on my best behavior. I'm going to act like Ty Best today. Back to you.
Oh my goodness, you're really going to be off the chain then. If you're going to act like Mr. Best, I'm telling you. But Mr. Dalco, you are always on your best behavior. When you know you have something in your hands that will set your whole family free, you can't help but get excited about it. Come on now. Mr. Willie Brown, anything you want to say to people?
I want to thank everybody for allowing us the opportunity to serve you today. And just want to encourage you to do the next right thing that's in front of you to do. Do what you can do. Carrot Bars International, you can do it. Let's go.
Let's go, let's go. Guys, you know, we always say the best for last. So moving right on to the best household, Mr. or Mrs. Best, please leave us with those last words.
Well, I'm just saying I like the energy. I'm glad people are excited and ignited. Okay, and all we can do is I'm looking forward to this weekend. I don't know what we call it. I don't know what we're calling it, but the Let's Go Weekend Online. I'm excited. I'm still gonna get all dressed up and put on the clothes that I was gonna wear anyway. Okay, so that's all I have to say. Okay, because you know Mr. Best is in the other room at the moment. Okay, indisposed. Okay, but he's excited. He couldn't sleep. And I couldn't sleep. I said, Tyrone, we got to take a nap. We got to take a nap before we do the next thing. But everybody, let's just do this. Ow. Team Best, what do we say? Ow. That's me and Alex.
Yes. Hello, Alex. We love you. And Gabe. Yes. Good guys, look, it has been our pleasure to serve you on this platform for the first time. 2 weeks ago, Mr. Rodney Berger had my back in the background. Thank you so much. And for all of you moderators, you are such a blessing to the people. Guys, continue to serve the people. We have examples right before our eyes that are serving the people. So continue to be a blessing. Guys, until next time, this is your girl, Sherry Brown, signing off.